Hello everyone, and welcome to another episode of Pixelmon on the PixelLeague server. My name is Casanis. In this episode, guys, we're going to be doing a question and answer. You guys have provided me a bunch of questions, and I am going to be providing you with the answers. I've got these broken up into two categories, personal and YouTube. So we're going to start off right now with personal so you get to know me a little bit better. Alrighty guys, starting off right away with a question from Ice Cold Steven, Captain G, and Columbia Forward. All three of these guys want to know how old I am. Now, this is a difficult question because YouTube is I think it's age sensitive. I really do think it's age sensitive. So you know what, I'm not going to give you my exact age. I'm going to tell you this. I'm old enough to have gone through university a couple of times and to have twin girls that are 2 years old. And I'm at least as old as the Mindcrackers. I am Mindcracker age. So I hope that's enough truth for you guys. I hope that's enough right there for you. Alright, I'm a Mindcracker age. Alrighty, Columbia Forward asks me, how old are my twins and do I have more kids? Well, like I said, my twin girls are 2 years old. They just turned 2 last week. And I do not have any other kids. No other kids at all. You know what? 2 is plenty. I'm a stay-at-home dad. I'm taking care of these little girls, and it is killing me. It's the hardest job I have ever had. So I don't think I want any more kids. Not that, you know, if I had any more, I would be, you know, disappointed or anything like that, but I don't think I'm going to actively try and have more kids. Twin girls, plenty. Alrighty, Ice Cold Steven asks, where do I live? I live in Canada. I live in Toronto, and I really love it here. It's a fantastic city. I think there's about 10 million people that live in Greater Toronto, and there's a whole bunch of YouTubers from here, actually, a whole bunch. A couple that are actually on the server as well. Holdfast is one of them. He lives in Toronto, and Beef doesn't live too far away from me either. Alrighty, Ice Cold Steven and Terrapin both ask me, what is your favorite thing to do besides video games, and what are your hobbies that I do outside of YouTube? Well, outside of YouTube, you know, one of my favorite things to do is study, is to learn something new. So I've actually been back to university a bunch of times. Now, I wouldn't call that a hobby, but it's something I really, really like to do. I am always taking classes. And I know some of you guys are like, what? Why would you take so many classes? I love school. I know a lot of you guys are thinking you don't love school, but you know what? When you're of a certain age and you are studying because you want to study something and you want to learn, things get a lot easier. Trust me, guys, they get a lot easier. Now, I wouldn't call that a hobby. I wouldn't call studying a hobby. I basically study arts as often as I can. A lot of photography. I study a lot of like fine arts. I've done some drawing classes. I've done a bunch of animation classes. I've done some courses in video game design. I do a lot of my own indie development as well. I attend a lot of different groups that are involved in indie gaming, making indie game, like game development, not just playing them. So yeah, I do a lot of that kind of stuff. I'm also quite heavy into a lot of different sports. I used to do a lot of rock climbing, and before I had the twins, my wife and I were both half marathoners, so we did a lot of running as well. I still try and run as much as I can. It's not anywhere near as often as I would like to, but I still do a lot of running. Now I push a double stroller. So if you ever see a dude running along with a double stroller and a couple of twin girls in it, then that might be me, if you live in Toronto. Wholesale Virus Compendium asked me, growing up, what was your dream job? Now, that is kind of an interesting question here. And you know, these questions, guys, I'm just reading them off here. I don't have anything planned, so if I'm a little iffy on my answers, I'm really sorry. I'm trying to be as spontaneous as I can so you guys get a lot of truth from me. That's what I want you to do, to get to know me better. That's what I'm hoping you're going to do, get to know me as a person rather than just as a voice coming out of your computer. Anyway, Wholesale Virus Compendium asks, growing up, what was your dream job? Now, my dream job has changed many times. And you know, it should change. As your interests change, then what you want to do should change. And you should never get stuck in a job that you don't love. If you want to change your life, then you have to change your life. It's going to be up to you. So that said, when I was really young, my dream job was archaeologist. Archaeologist or anthropologist. I wanted to do that. I wanted to study cultures. I wanted to study history, but like, you know, long ago history. More anthropology than archaeology, I guess. And I wanted to do that for the longest time. Now, the problem was, when I was little, the Indiana Jones movies came out. And when the Indiana Jones movie came out, then suddenly everybody wanted to be an archaeologist. Everyone wanted to be an archaeologist, and they were all excited because, you know, archaeologists get to carry a gun and a whip. And I was, as a kid, I was really upset. I'm like, they do not carry guns and whips. They carry brushes. They, you know, they carried notebooks, that kind of stuff. And when I was a kid, I used to walk around with my mom's turkey brushes and that kind of stuff. And I would like clean off rocks, and I had a whole collection of fossils. Yeah, I was pretty nerdy. I was pretty nerdy. After that, as I got older, my dream job changed into engineering. I wanted to be, well, an architect or an engineer, and that continued for a really long time. I actually studied engineering. My first degree is in engineering. It changed from civil engineering, which is kind of what I wanted to do, or architecture, into electrical engineering, where I really wanted to be involved in the design of things. I really wanted to do a lot of design, and so I got out of that. I got out of that completely, out of civil engineering. I just decided it wasn't for me, and I went into the concept of designing new things and changing the world. So I actually did my first degree in electrical engineering, and I followed that through, and I worked in it for a long time. But you know, as I was working in that, I was still studying a lot of different art, and eventually I was actually studying a master's of computer science, and I took a random course in animation, and I absolutely loved it. I loved it. I really wanted to do it 100%. So I went back to school for animation, and that was my dream job for the longest time. You know, I still love animation. I love doing animation. I love the creative process of it. I did it for a lot of years. Now as a stay-at-home dad, you know, I'm not really sure if I'll go back to it. Like I said, I really did love it, but I'm not sure if I'll go back to it. If I could make a career where I can work from home, like YouTube or in indie gaming, then I will probably stick with that, just because I really want to be involved in my kid's life. And the problem with animation, though it was a fantastic job, you know, the jobs I had were fantastic, it's a lot of hours, it's time consuming, and it's a lot of work. It's honestly a lot of work, a lot of terrible hours when you get into crunch time, and you have to work, you know, overtimes and weekends and all this kind of stuff. You really don't have any life outside of that. Now, I love the art of it, but I don't want to go back to that type of stuff. I don't want to go back to those hours. Aaron Shirley asks, what college did I go to? Now, that's kind of an interesting thing, because I actually have 3 degrees. I went to the University of Windsor for electrical engineering. That was my first degree. And I was actually at the University of Concordia in Montreal doing a Master's of Computer Science. I dropped out of that when I discovered animation, like I said, and I did a Bachelor of Fine Arts in Film Animation at Concordia University. So that was my second degree, Bachelor of Fine Arts in Film Animation. And lastly, I went to, and I say lastly, but that's maybe not true. I might be going back again soon. You know, I will keep on studying. I'll keep on studying. I love studying. Anyway, I went to Sheridan afterwards for a graduate program in digital character animation, and that was my third and final one up to now. I mean, maybe not. Maybe I'll go back for something else. Who knows? That was my grad program, digital character animation. So it was Windsor, University of Windsor, Concordia, and then Sheridan. Captain G asks, what's your favorite burger shop or store or whatever it's called? Now, that's kind of a funny question, because, you know, there are a lot of different kind of burgers. If you're talking strictly fast food, let me say right now, I don't like Burger King. I do not like Burger King. Nothing against the people that work there or anything else. People who like it, great. I just don't like Burger King. I can stand McDonald's. I can, you know, kind of like Wendy's. I don't really love Wendy's either. But Harvey's. If I had to have a fast food burger and I had a choice of any of them, I would pick Harvey's. And now that's what we have in this general location here. We have a lot of Harvey's, a lot of McDonald's, a lot of Burger Kings, a lot of Wendy's. Harvey's, I like their burgers. They are damn good. Alright, if you're not talking about fast food, though, and you're talking about gourmet burgers, we've got a couple of really good gourmet burger places right in my area. There's a place called Yellow Griffin. Now, Yellow Griffin, amazing food. It's a nice little pub. The problem with that is the service. And if the service people from Yellow Griffin are listening to this right now, I'm really sorry, but you guys make a great product, but come on. You guys got to get your service better. You guys got to work harder at your service. You know, get people in there to get eaten, because that's some good food, but come on. If I had to pick one of the two, there's another one called The Works that's right next door, and The Works makes a really good burger. You choose the type of meat protein you want. You can do beef or buffalo, or you can do a chicken or anything else you want. Then you pick one of these crazy burgers, and it can be peanut butter or something else. You know, they have these crazy burgers, but the burgers are so good, and it's family friendly too. And as a stay-at-home dad, I'm looking for that now. I've got twin girls that I have to take out with me everywhere I go. So those burgers are amazing. I just had a burger there a short while ago. I'm surprised it didn't kill me, to be honest, but it was a giant burger, and it had deep fried bacon on it, and it also had deep fried hot peppers, and it had deep, fried onion rings. It had all that on one burger, and I'm surprised it didn't kill me, but it was so good. I ate every bite. I didn't care if I got sick. I ate every bite. And there's another place here in Toronto called Priest Burger, or Burger Priest, depending on how you look it up. It's got a secret menu. That place is also really good. So if you guys live around here, if you guys live in Toronto, try The Works or try Burger Priest. Awesome food. All right, Mariko asks, what's your favorite food? Now, this is kind of related. It's not burgers, I like burgers. And this is kind of hard for me because I like food. I like food. There's very few foods I don't like. I mean, I'll eat almost anything. I don't love liver, never loved peas, but I'll eat them in something. But if I had to have one food for the rest of my life, if I had to pick a broad topic, I would say sandwiches. I like sandwiches. Sandwiches are good. Good. My first computer I named Tasty Sandwich, actually. There is a really good restaurant near Toronto in Oakville, Ontario, called Stoney's. If you guys get a chance, go there, try their blackened chicken with bacon, and you will never want to eat anything else again. That's the absolute truth. You know what? I love sushi as well. I love sushi. I don't know. There's just too many foods that I really like. But, sushi and sandwiches, not at the same time, but sushi and sandwiches, I could live off sushi and sandwiches forever. All right, Dark Patronus asked, what is your favorite animal and color? Well, my favorite color is green. I really like green. A dark forest type or hunter type green. My favorite animal? Now that's a hard one too, because are you talking domestic animals or are you talking wild animals? If I had to be a domesticated animal, I would probably be either a horse or a dog. More than likely a dog. Dogs got pretty darn good lives. Horse, you break your leg, you get shot. But a dog's got a pretty darn good life. As long as you're domesticated, you live with someone, they bring you food, they take you out. You got a good life. You got a good life there. I definitely wouldn't want to be a goldfish. Goldfish would be the worst life. I would never pick goldfish. If you're talking about wild animals, I don't know. I would definitely be a predator, top of the food chain somewhere. Maybe some kind of wolf, or some kind of big cat like a lion, or possibly a predatory bird like an eagle. I don't know. That's a hard one. I don't know what my favorite animal is. That's for sure. Dark Patronus also asks, do you consider yourself smart, average, or meh? This is a hard one. I actually know what my IQ is. I've been tested many times. So I'm not going to give you that number because it doesn't really matter what that number is. I'm smart enough to have gone to university 3 times. I don't know. I don't know how to answer that one. Smart is a relative thing. I don't know if I'm so wise. Wise is based on experience. I'm not sure. I don't know how to answer that. I'm not dumb. I'll leave it at that. Logetastic, and he asked me to make sure I say Logetastic because he said it's like Rogue-tastic, so Logetastic, has asked me, which dream sounds scarier? A giant spider half the size of you that's chasing you, or a locked door you can't open with the sound of a crying child behind it? Well, I'm not really afraid of spiders. Now, a big spider is probably frightening to anybody. But as long as I could defend myself, I don't know how afraid I'd be of a giant spider. If I had a shovel or something like that, I probably wouldn't be that afraid of a giant spider. They crumble pretty easy, right? They're fast moving and they can jump and who knows what else. Maybe they're poisonous, but you know what? I think for me, at this stage in my life where I have 2 little girls, and you know, when I was younger, my nightmares were of someone trying to kill me, or you know, getting hurt in some way or something like that. You know, maybe heights. Maybe I had bad dreams about heights. Now, as a stay-at-home dad, my nightmares are centered on my children. I have bad dreams that my kids are hurt, or that I can't get to them, or someone's trying to hurt my kids. So at this stage in my life, I'm definitely going to say that a crying child behind a locked door that I can't get to would probably be a worst nightmare for me. A worst nightmare for me at this time. All right, lastly, Mine Cheesecraft asks, do you like cheese? Yes, I do. I like cheese. Maybe some people don't like cheese, but I like cheese. I put cheese on everything I can. Alrighty, so for YouTube, Jacob Rosenbaum asks, what made you want to make videos on YouTube? I started out making videos when my little girls were almost a year old, and as a stay-at-home father, maybe they were a little bit younger than a year old, maybe they're about 8 months old. As a stay-at-home father of twins, my life was really home-centric. It was very difficult to go out. The girls had to eat on a schedule. My wife and I really had to share that responsibility because, you know, it's impossible to take care of twins. I'm just telling you right now, guys, if you have twins, it's really, really hard. I don't care what other people tell you, it gets easier, everything else. You know what? It's hard. It's really hard. So I started making videos to kind of feel like I was talking to someone. I had a lot of my friends were single guys, or guys that were working in the animation industry, and I had to give up a lot of those contacts just because as a stay-at-home dad, my life was really centered at home. So I really started YouTube so that I could feel like I was talking to someone, like I was talking to somebody else, and that's still why I do it, really, to talk to you guys, to feel like I'm in this community. I really love the YouTube community. Wholesale Virus Compendium asks, when did you realize that YouTube was becoming that job? And this is back from, he asked me what is my dream job. No, YouTube, right now I think YouTube would be a dream job. It is, I am nowhere near having that be a possibility. It requires a lot of views, a lot of daily views to make YouTube a real job, to replace a career. It takes a lot of views, and you know, I don't get that kind. I don't have that kind of sub count or that kind of view count. Excuse me. It takes a lot of views. If something happened tomorrow and I was getting that kind of views, yes, YouTube would be a job that I continued on, you know, throughout for as long as I could. For as long as you guys watch me, I would continue doing it, and that's because it really allows me to be at home with my girls and to really. I feel like I'm doing something. It's really fun to make a video and have other people like it and watch it. It makes me feel really great. So I'm not sure when I realized that I'd like to do it. Probably pretty early on, actually. All right. Dark Patronus asks, how do you become a better YouTuber and when do you start? You know, you can start whenever you want. There's no reason. Well, I mean, I think there's a legal age that you have to be on YouTube. I think you have to be older than 13. But you know, you can start whenever you feel like making a video. Start off, because you know what? It takes a lot of practice. If you go back and you look at my early videos, man, I sucked. I was terrible. And I think almost everybody is terrible when you look at their first few videos. So start whenever you can. And to get better, you just keep right on doing them. You just keep practicing. And you know what? You have to have a tough skin, because people are going to tell you you're crap. They're going to give you dislikes and everything else. And you know what? That's the way it goes. Not everyone's going to like you. So make sure that you just keep on trying. That's how you get better. Matt Mancraft asks, would you do a series of mini games where you play and record with one of your subs? Actually, I do that. I actually do that. I was doing a series that was called Playing with Patrons. So my patrons, my Patreon patrons, I invite them every single month to come out and do videos with me. I would love to record with them. Those guys give me a lot of support. My Patreon patrons give me a lot of support, and I want to support them back. So I invite them every month to do a video with them, and a lot of times, like a lot of them are busy and that kind of stuff, and they don't have time to do it, or maybe they don't want to record. I'm not sure, but I invite them every month. So yes, I would actually do that, and anyone who's my Patreon patron, I invite you along to do videos with me. I would love to. All right, Don't Blink 13 says, which do you like more, Koala Craft or Cowground. Okay, so this is looking back at some of my early YouTube stuff. I was on a couple of different servers, KoalaCraft, Cowground, as well as Vector. And Vector and KoalaCraft are kind of the same thing. Cowground ended very suddenly when Teras left. It ended very, very quickly, so I don't know if I got to know enough of the people and enough of that very well. I really enjoyed my time on Vector. Vector, I really like the people. Some of them are on here now. Sigils and MK are both on the PixelLeague server, you know, and so is Clever Creeper. It's Trevor. No way, it's Trevor. They're all on here. They are a great bunch of people. I really enjoy playing with them. So I'd have to say KoalaCraft / Vector. Mariko asks, how did you come to know Teras and the other PixelLeague members? Okay, this is an interesting question. I met Teras very early on. He is probably one of the people that I met very, very first on YouTube. Like one of my very, very first people that I met on YouTube. Both Teras and MK. Teras was looking to have me do some animation for him, actually, and he contacted me after he saw my film Headwinds, which was my one of my indie films that I did. I did an indie film a long time ago, and Teras contacted me, and that's how I got to know him. And he and I have been friends since then. And you know what? I still consider Teras to be one of my best friends on YouTube. That is for certain. We've been together, we've known each other for a really long time, and been through a lot of stuff together. A lot of the other PixelLeague members I don't know. I'm just met now, but a lot of them came from servers I was on, like KoalaCraft and Vector. Beef I met a while ago, again doing some animation for him. So some of the animation on my channel is actually on Beef's channel and was done for him. So yeah, that's how I met those guys. All right, Eddie Hill asked me, why did I start Japanese style gym? Will I fill my Pokedex, and will I build anything other than my gym on the server? So I started a Japanese style gym, or I guess it's an Asian gym is what I'm calling it, because whenever I start a brand new series, I always leave it up to my viewers to decide what style I'll be building in. I put up a vote. They go over several videos, and everyone votes. This is what I want to see you build. And the last one that came up, they asked me for Asian. They said Asian or Asian fantasy, so I'm kind of working on that. And I decided on a dragon gym simply because I thought that best matched with the Asian theme. So that's why I'm doing a dragon gym. Will I fill my Pokedex? You know what? I'm not sure. This series for me is really loose. I'm not sure where it's going, and I'm not sure what I'm doing. I'd really like to start battling, so I really hope some of the other guys build up a team and start to battle me, because I really want to do some battling, you know. But if no one's going to battle me, then yeah, I'm going to start trying to fill my Pokedex. Will I build anything else other than my gym? Yes, I will. Actually, some of the other people have asked me to do a build of the Bellsprout Tower, and I think that's what we're going to do as soon as our gym is complete. Yeah, I think we're going to move on to a Bellsprout Tower. All right, Wilson asks, why can't you make your dragon gym or dragon team 70 or 80? I can. There's nothing stopping me from doing so, actually. There's nothing stopping me, but like I said, I'm really looking for battles, and if no one else on the server has a team that is 70 or 80, then they're not going to battle me. So I'm trying to keep both of my teams as low as I can, somewhere around below 50 for my secondary team, and definitely below, I think both of them are below 50 right now. I'll have to check and see. I can't remember now if I went as high as 60. I might have gone as high as 60 with my dragon team. Yeah, so that's why it's because of the other team members. Once everyone catches up, then I will go all the way. I'll make a team of 100 if I can. Alright, Super Black 1999 asks, what is your favorite shiny Pokemon? I don't know. You know what? I haven't seen that many of the shinies, to be honest. I have not seen that many. I like the way the Gyarados looks, and Gyarados in general is I think it's a fun Pokemon. But I haven't seen that many. I don't know if I can answer that, because honestly, I have not seen enough of the shinies to be able to say which one's my favorite. I wouldn't have minded getting myself the Black Charizard, because that is kind of awesome. If I find one, I'll use it for sure. And I think I'll redo a Gyarados too if I can get my hands on a shiny Gyarados. So hopefully that answers it. I'm not really sure, to be honest, because I just don't know enough of them. I haven't seen enough of them yet. There hasn't been that many on. Columbia Forward asks, what would you start, or would you start a series just for building? Like a Minecraft single player focusing on building. Yes, I would, actually. You know what? If you guys would watch it, I would start a series in creative mode where I built something. I would let you guys vote on the style I built each episode or every few episodes, and you know what? I would go through and I would build whatever you wanted. So if you told me I'd like to see modern, I'd build 3 or 4 or 5 or I don't know how many builds in modern, and then move on to the next one. You guys would be able to keep voting what the next one is going to be, and I would definitely do that. If you guys want to see it, let me know in the comments. Tell me if you'd like to see that, because if you would, I'll definitely do that. And lastly, the very last question here comes from Sky Guy, and he asks, are there any updates when the new channel will be coming out? Now, my channel was both animation, Maya tutorials, and gaming, and I thought that was pretty darn confusing. So I have told a lot of people that I'm going to be starting a second channel called Casanis Creates. So CasanisPlays will continue to be gaming commentary, but Casanis Creates might be something different. It's going to be things that I do creatively, like indie gaming or more Maya tutorials or things like that. Do I know when that's coming out? I'm not sure, to be honest. I hope it'll come out pretty darn soon, because I'd like to go back to that as well. That's something I really enjoy, and I think that when I do start, I'll probably start with some indie gaming. I would like you guys to follow me along and we build an indie game together. That would be pretty darn awesome. Anyway guys, I hope you enjoyed this video. I really hope you did. I hope you got to know me a little bit better. I'd like to do these more often, so if you guys have questions, then make sure you guys keep leaving them for me, and I'll keep doing these question and answer videos. If you guys liked it, let me know down below with a thumbs up. If you have something to say it down below in the comments. I try and answer back everyone who asks me a question. I always try and write back. Write me personally, write in the comments, and I will do my best to answer you guys back. I hope you guys enjoyed the video. If you did, thumbs up. Thumbs down if you didn't, comments down below, and if you haven't done so, please take a few seconds to subscribe. Have yourself a wonderful day, everyone.